With your host, Geraldine.
I'm Letha.
And I'm Joe.
We got Joe back. Yeah, Joe's back. What is it? Oh, what? He just went to the bathroom? Oh, he's back. Oh, yeah! Joe's back from the bathroom.
Oh, excuse me.
Joe, you getting ready to take a colonoscopy, aren't you?
What? Stop. I can't.
Oh,
I don't
am I
even
the
know
only
where that
one?
came from.
Am I the only one?
Just her.
One day I'll explain that experience to you.
She's crazy.
No,
One day.
we don't want to
She's
explain
crazy.
From the water, the
No.
special water,
She's crazy.
to the other stuff that starts with
So,
M.
we're gonna.
So what's today's topic today? What's the topic for today?
Detoxing.
Fasting.
Fasting.
Maybe that's why she got on the
That's the same-
colonoscopy. No,
That is.
it's not.
No.
It was my quick fasting. You know how they got quick fat fast or slim fast?
Oh, you know what?
That's my fast fast.
We can actually connect it. Because this guy can come in.
That's
Right? That was a special kind of fasting.
Detoxing. Quick
She
detoxing.
had to do a quick fast.
And I
for
couldn't
that
eat.
colonoscopy.
I couldn't eat for
Well,
a whole
there's different
day.
types of fasting, you know.
There are. Okay, so real.
What are we going fasting for? The real tip is purification.
Yes.
Some of us just want to be cleansed
Yes.
from all of our demons.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have a few of them that we hoard.
And you can also, some people fast to pray for others.
Yes.
Things
And
that
some
they're going
things, the
through.
scripture says, some things coming through prayer
Only
and
by fasting.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, no. Matthew 17 says, "How be it this kind goeth out, not out, but by prayer and fasting."
Yes.
So
Now,
there's some
that
things
was
that
a
we
demon,
That
right?
was a demon.
Okay,
Yes.
and
At
demons
that time.
come in all
Because
forms
Shapes,
of
sizes,
shapes
and forms.
the disciples were asking, they were like, "Why couldn't we cast out this demon?" And it was like,
Yeah.
'Cause some things only come out by fasting and
Yes.
prayer.
Yeah,
Yes,
and I wonder what kind of demon that was.
a bad one.
I know bad, but I'm trying to figure out because I don't want to
Yeah, he was
entertain
like, yeah.
demons in
At
disguise,
all.
and then I need to fast. I can tell you
Read
from my
Matthew
own
17, you know.
experience, I do not like fasting, and I think the devil knows that.
Well, our flesh doesn't like fasting.
Yeah.
At all.
So I'm all in flesh all the time. That's why I'm almost 200
That's why you have
pounds.
to kill your flesh daily.
Yes.
We're not,
And
we're
that
not gonna talk about it.
I think that's why I'm almost 200 pounds. Because when God said, you need to fast, and I was like, but
I want that chicken.
the way my stomach account is set up,
I
it
can't.
needs a deposit.
So there are different kinds of fasts. There
Yes.
are total fasts where you don't consume anything.
Nothing.
Right,
Nothing at
nothing.
all. I
Or
wouldn't advise doing that for a very long
Just
time.
water.
However, there's
water.
There's water.
There's a
There's
Daniel
Daniel
fast.
fast. There's fasting away from negativity, so no TV, cell
Yes.
phones,
Social media.
all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. There's different fasts, okay? And
most of the time when you fasting from food, from all that other stuff, you're
Right.
fasting from the
You
media
in the
too.
word.
Right.
When you're
You're in
fasting,
your
you
word.
get into your word.
Mhm.
You
Or if you don't
meditate
get in your word, you
and
better
pray
be
to God.
meditating and getting in tune with God.
Yes,
Right.
definitely.
And the different fasts, it could be something that God gave to you. It could be something that your minister says that
Yes.
you guys are going on.
And
it
it's
could be a
focusing on different
self-induced
things.
Right.
fast that you say, I'm giving up such and such and such so I can be in a close relationship with God, or
Yeah.
I want to be more spiritual, or I need a change.
I
or
think
I
the
don't-
hardest fast that I've ever went on was the no sugar.
Yeah, well, that's the Daniel fast. You can't have no sugar, you can't have no dairy. All you can
No
have is
Nuts and
vegetables
berries.
and
I gotta
fruit.
make sure that
nuts
I don't
and
go
berries.
to that church
Oh, that's the one you go to, shut up.
when they're fasting back like that.
Probably January. Mm-hmm.
So January, I'm gonna probably be a backslider.
She's
She's not, I'm gonna drag
Well,
her
you
in
know,
there.
I'm not
and I'm
gonna
gonna
speak.
make
But we're gonna fast and
I'm
pray
gonna
that she
speak
don't
life.
backslide.
I'm gonna speak
Right.
life into my situation.
Yes, please, because
Yes.
you know there's life and death in this time.
I want to go into the fact of maybe I don't believe in fasting,
That's
and
a
I
lie.
have to be convinced
That's a
slowly.
No.
So why you don't believe in fasting?
She's lying.
No, I just said I want to be
Oh, you
somewhere, somewhere around January.
She doesn't
Okay.
want
I
to
don't wanna
fast,
go
so
with
she
that.
wants to
Fasting.
act ignorant to the fact that
Yes.
she needs to.
Because the scripture says much given, much is required.
Okay,
And
so
she
how do
has
you
a
feel
lot.
about fasting?
How do I feel about fasting? It is beneficial.
Okay,
I have
correct.
experienced the fasting, and I have also experienced the benefits of fasting.
Okay.
Yes.
But I can honestly say, with that being said, I don't like to fast. And I really believe the enemy knows. And I'm going to tell you how I know the enemy knows.
Because every time
He's
you fast,
attacking
good stuff comes around you.
Not just that, but I'll pick a day where I'll say, I'll make it easy for myself. I won't bring no money, and I won't put myself in a situation where I can eat.
Right.
And then when I know some people are like, I won't bring no money, but that's when the enemy pops into that person.
Right.
And say, oh, do you want this? I got an extra. I got this, I got that. Come on, I'm gonna treat you out to lunch. You know you've been my special friend, all that. No, I haven't been your special friend. That devil is.
But I can say,
Devil
I
don't have no
can
friends.
vouch for that as well, because it's been plenty of times that we've been fasting and praying as, you know what I'm saying, collectively, as the whole church, and I'll be at work and guys there offer, hey, you want this, you want that? I'm like, nah. So, you know,
Every time I fast, that happens.
Yeah.
Where somebody
Yes.
offers me
And sometimes I forget I'm fasting.
But I try to be strong and kill my flesh and be like, no, because I know the benefit of me fasting. I know when I come out of the fasting, I know
Everything's
things
gonna
gonna
work
be
out.
changed
Yeah.
and it's gonna be
But I
alright.
can tell you, sometimes I forget and I'll walk into the room and I'll be like, hey, what is that Mr. Goodbar doing here? And then I just pop that Mr. Goodbar in there so quick. And then after I done made my first swallow, because I've already chewed, I'm like, oh man,
Lord,
I
please
am
forgive me.
fasting. So I try to extend my fast, but do I be like, does God really honor me extending that?
I also have done that before too. So I'm eating and I'll be like,
I get right back on
right
it.
there,
I'm
I'll be
gonna
like,
tell
Lord,
you there.
forgive me.
And I
I
get right
did
back on
and
it.
then,
You know why?
Yeah.
Because the devil wants you to quit.
Yeah.
So I will ask for forgiveness and keep on pushing.
You have
For
to.
the simple fact that I want the result that I'm fasting for.
Right.
So,
Correct.
What
example.
are some results?
Yes, I was just gonna say an example. So, like, there's when we have done the Daniel fast, in the beginning, I used to try to find ways around some of the stuff, like, because we can't have sugar, you can't have dairy, you can't have this and that. So I would be like, well, what about this and what about that? And so then we got a list and found out the things we couldn't have, like we couldn't have honey because it was made by bees, but we could have brown rice syrup and we could have agave nectar because that was from fruit and stuff like that. I was like researching,
Yes.
trying
She's a
to
researcher.
find ways to incorporate sweets because I am a carboholic and I wanted sugar. So I was trying to find ways to incorporate that back into my diet. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it wasn't bad. I found the things I could have, but at the same time, I was so busy focused on what I couldn't have that I think some of the benefit was lost in the fasting because I was
because it sounds like you want to be right.
I did want to be right, but I also wanted to have my sweets. The next time around,
I'd rather just eat it and say, oh, I didn't know
no,
that there was sugar in that
But you knew.
Kool-Aid.
no. So keep this. So the next
That
time
there was sugar
around,
in that
You know.
Kool-Aid.
I stopped focusing on the stuff I couldn't have, and I just went with the regular stuff. You know, I just did fruits. I did vegetables.
That's
I didn't-
natural fruit.
I didn't
That's
worry.
natural sugar. on
Yes,
there.
I didn't
Fruit.
worry about the other stuff. Oh well, I can have this because it's made with
Some
this.
people
I
have a
can make this
cigarette
and made with this.
and it'll take away them wanting to eat.
Some people did. I
I'm
mean,
not
it's certain
starting
ways.
to smoke so that
Some
I'm
people
fast.
did
So I
certain
understand
things.
there's some people
That's
that pick
counterproductive.
up a cigarette.
Okay, that's
They
counterproductive.
picked up
I knew a
everything.
church that had, it was a Baptist church, and they had ashtrays in their bathroom and the windows open.
Okay, so we're not talking about bathrooms that have cigarettes.
Well, we
and
gotta
all
mention
We're
that
talking about
smoking.
fasting.
man. I don't think that smoking is bad.
Okay, but you could die from cancer. Just saying.
I'm saying you can
back to
mess up your
fasting.
temporal
Yeah.
by putting all that tar in there.
Right.
But I don't
Right.
think, how is that a sin unto death to go into hell?
We're not talking about sins that take you to hell.
I'm
We're
going
talking
too
about
far,
fasting.
aren't
You are. I'm gonna
Let's
beat
just talk
you.
about fasting.
Back on subject, fasting.
Fasting.
So, when I stopped focusing on the stuff I couldn't have,
Yes.
I noticed that I got a better benefit because I wasn't worried about those
Right.
things. I was concentrating on what I was fasting for. So, in January, we did this, we started doing, every January we were doing the Daniel fast. The first time, I was so concentrated on the other stuff. After that, when I started fasting and then
Focusing on
praying
what
and
you
focus
spoke.
on what I was trying to get out of it,
Yes.
I started focusing on healing.
And you
I
see
started
it.
focusing on health. I started focusing on my spirituality. Woo, that was hard to get out today.
Spirituality.
So then I got a bigger benefit. When
Yes.
I came off the fast, I wasn't negative. Before I was having a hard time dealing with people in my job. When I came off the fast, I didn't deal with them I didn't have a hard time dealing with them anymore. And it wasn't because they changed. They were still doing the same crap they were doing that drove me
It
crazy
was just
before
you
that.
pray for what you want.
But I prayed for God to change me in here, and my mindset changed, so they
Yes.
didn't bother me anymore. I was healthier. I lost like 10 pounds. I could see the change in my skin, my body. All these things happened because I went on a fast.
Yeah.
And I was prayerful, and I was in my word, and I was
Trust
staying
and
away
believe.
from
Stood
social
on the
media
word.
and all the negativity.
Well, I would say
When I came
in
out
the
of
church, you
Mhm.
should fast for religious purposes.
Mhm.
But in the natural, if you're not in church, you should still fast.
Occasionally, I
Because
think it's fine for
It's
cleansing.
detoxing and it's
Yes.
cleansing.
So when I fasted, it had multiple
Results.
It had multiple results. My spirituality, I was stronger. I was more focused, I think, in God. Like I said, got the natural benefits, but
Yes.
also my mindset changed because I was in the Word more. Because I was in surrounding myself with positivity.
Right.
I didn't let things that used to bother me. It changed the way I thought, even about how I handled my relationship with my husband and my children. My personality, I was a sweeter person.
Yes.
I wasn't easily aggravated. All because I went on fast. And stuff like issues, like my husband was having issues with one of our children, and I was having issues with him, and I was having issues at work. All that stuff, not because the problem went away, but how we dealt with it
Yes.
changed because I fasted and prayed.
Wow. Well, I
It
can
was
actually
awesome.
say, I like to fast, focus fasting.
Yes,
I like
I
focus
agree with
fasting.
that. That's
But when you
Because
fast,
it
and
gives me a focus of a reason. But there are times that I just think I need to be cleansed and I just really need to cry out to God. And so I take a fasting of trying to be holding it back. I just go ahead on into that room and just cry out and fast for
Right.
about a couple
But
of
when you
hours.
fast, also you gotta trust and believe what you're fasting for, so it can
Right.
manifest
Sometimes it can only be a
and come to
couple of
pass.
hours.
So sometimes you're fasting.
that I can
Yeah.
fast.
Well, we've done ones where
Because
we
the
fast
prayer-
until
if the
noon, or
prayer-
we fast until
But
3.
if the prayer is answered
Mhm.
faster than my fasting, then I'm okay with that. Because if I planned on fasting for 3 days for a purpose and the purpose gets resolved in a day and a half, I'm fine with coming off of my fast.
Okay.
Now, am I
But
right
there's certain
or
people,
wrong?
everybody got their own
I
preference
think that's
of how they
between
do
you and
things.
God.
Yes,
Okay.
Because how can somebody else judge you if they didn't put you on a fast?
right. You
Well,
put
you know
yourself on
what?
there.
If you told somebody about a fast, so they threw their prayer on you without telling you, and because they just assumed you're gonna go on a 3-day fast.
Right.
If I break the fast after my prayer is answered and their prayer hasn't gotten answered yet,
That's between you and God.
do you think I'm wrong for coming
I
off
think
that
that should
fast?
be something that you guys discuss.
Or
in the
that I should have
beginning.
never told her about my fast?
Well, how about this? You say, well, I'm gonna fast for mine, you fast for yours, if that's what you plan on doing.
Yes.
But if you agree with someone
Communicate
that
and
you're gonna
compromise.
fast
Right.
with them on something, then you probably should stick to it.
Okay, well, if I agree with that. But I had a pastor, she's like, she just don't fast with everybody's fast anymore. She said because this woman told her about her marriage and all that, and she wanted her to fast with her. And she said it was like the second day, she been on this fast the whole time, and she drive past a regular Burger King, and she seen her up in there eating. And she fasted for her.
Right. That's a
Well, that's
mess.
between her and God, though.
Well,
No, but that's a hot mess.
She
'cause
walked
if
right
I-
up
if
in
we're-
there.
if we-
It's a hot mess,
yeah,
and
if we-
you
if we-
communicating, y'all gotta
If we say we
understand
doing
it.
this together and one of
Yes.
us stops,
Okay.
that's a problem.
That's,
But she should
it's a
tell
problem,
her,
but in the same
look,
token,
you know what, I got
that's
this
between
lunch
them and
in,
God.
and I'm getting ready to break this fast today. At least tell the person who you asked to join you on your fast.
Right.
That's
This
all
is
I'm
the thing,
saying.
like when I was telling
It's a
you
respect
about,
thing.
yeah, when I was telling you about our fast in the beginning of the year, we used to do it as a cleansing and starting off the year right with a
Giving
closer
that first
relationship
month to
with God
God.
and dedicating that first
Yes.
month to God. Now,
We all knew that.
when you said focus fasting, a lot of times that's because you want something to change. Say specifically, whether it's healing on someone or, like you said, pray for someone's marriage or
Right.
pray. When you're doing that and you set a time, I think that it is a good idea to stick to your time frame.
Of course.
Only because you might not necessarily know what's around that corner that you need to continue
To pray
that
for.
Because
Right.
just because that
Right.
one part changed doesn't mean that everything is turned around. Maybe you need to go a little bit further and
Right.
make sure
Keep on.
that it's staying. You know what I'm saying? That it's sticking.
Yes.
The only reason I say that is because sometimes while we're in the midst of a fast, like I have gone into a fast praying for a certain thing. God, I'm praying for my family stability or my family health. And when I'm in the middle of that fast, like our health might be doing good or whatever, but God may drop something else in my spirit that I need to
Right.
keep fasting and praying for.
Right.
And it might not be me.
Right.
Then
might
it
be
turns
somebody
into
else.
not just for me, but an intercessory for someone else. So now I'm praying and fasting for my family's health, but he's also told me to pray and fast for your family's health, you
Right.
know, or someone else's. And so in the midst of that, God can put in your spirit what he wants
Right.
you to pray for. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
So
Not just for
fasting,
yours.
all in all, what we're I guess we're trying to say is
Mhm.
fasting is good.
It's
Yes.
important.
I think
It's very important.
with the disciples, and I could be wrong, so check me if I am, but didn't it say they didn't have to, because somebody asked, why aren't the disciples fasting? And he says, why do they have to fast when I am with them? But there will be a time where they will have to fast,
Well,
and that's after he ascends.
No, he told them that some things only come from fasting.
I mean, I got that on that,
Mhm.
but then I gotta go do the research, because I remember reading about somebody asking, how come your disciples don't fast? And he says, they don't need to fast when I'm with them,
I don't know.
but there will be a time where they will have to fast.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
I'm
look
gonna
that up as
research
well.
that, I'm not too wrong about too much stuff when it comes, I'm not trying to be cocky or nothing,
Right.
and I'm not trying to be all that, but when I find
But
it,
if you
I
research,
will-
you saw something.
I will be rewarded in
I'm
my,
not too
in
wrong
my
about very
comments.
much.
Fasting does make changes
Yes,
It does.
in
it does.
your life and in some other people's
So
lives.
don't be afraid to fast, or
And
don't
be
feel like,
afraid to fast.
you know, and if you happen to slip up, and you know what I'm saying, you just ask for forgiveness,
and when
and like
things
my wife
just
was
seem
saying,
so
keep
heavy,
striving, don't give up, just
and,
be like, Lord,
and you
forgive
feel
me,
the
'cause
dirtiest,
the devil wants you to quit.
fast. Go
When
on
your
fast.
system, yeah,
When
your
you
system
just
is
can't,
yep.
because your spiritual system is just clogged up,
Yes,
and you're
and
just,
you can't hear.
you're talking doo-doo, and you're acting like doo-doo. You need a spiritual fasting detox and colonoscopy. You need a spiritual colonoscopy is what you
For
need.
real. And you know
And
what?
somebody needs to go on the inside of your spirit, man, and know what's going on with you.
And if, say there's something that you've been praying about for a very long time and doesn't seem to be making any change, maybe you need to add fasting to that prayer.
Yes.
Because that could be the change that you need. You know, that could be your breakthrough. That could help
Right.
you through the process. Because there's, I've been praying for this for 3 years. And then they fast and pray for it. Oh, you know what? I was only fasting for like a week. And all of a sudden God turned things
Yeah.
around. Sometimes we need to starve the flesh so
Yeah.
that our spirit man knows. 'Cause
And
Yeah.
diabetics can fast.
yes, we can. I know.
I'm just saying, you get some people like, I have to have it because I can die.
Well,
No.
certain
No.
people do have certain medicines. It's not about necessarily
You
diabetes,
gotta
but
take your medicine.
yeah.
But, so fasting, we're gonna leave y'all with this. Joyful Heart Praise is gonna leave you with this. If you don't leave with nothing else, and nothing means no food. But anyway, fast.
Yes.
Fast for spiritual growth.
Yes.
Fast to reconnect you
Mhm.
spiritually with God.
Yes.
Fast for any fast
Physical
for
health.
your needs.
Yes.
Physical health, physical growth, emotional growth.
And when you fast
Everything you need.
and know what you're fasting for,
For,
and stand on that.
Yes.
And know that it's gonna come to pass.
Fast.
For sure.
Not just, pray and fast for it and don't believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining Joyful Heart Praise. Make sure you fast. Make sure you put everything before God. God
Yes.
first.
Yes.
Prayers, blessings always. Have a
Amen.
great night.